Our top focus at this hour as he continues his Middle East tour. US President Joe Biden and the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas have held closed-door talks and addressed the media. Listen in.
Never give up on the work of peace. You know, there must be a political horizon that the Palestinian people can actually see or at least feel. We cannot allow the hopelessness to steal away the future. Her legacy will inspire more young people to carry on her work of reporting the truth and telling stories that are too often overlooked. The United States will continue to insist on a full and transparent accounting of her death.
The talks were held in Bethlehem, and among the many issues discussed was the two-state solution. The meeting came a day after Biden called Jerusalem the capital of Israel during a similar presser with caretaker Prime Minister Yair Lapid. Joe Biden unveiled a fresh package of economic and technical assistance for the Palestinians, and he pledged $100 million for Palestinian hospitals in East Jerusalem.
Today, I'm pleased to announce the United States is committing an additional $100 million to support these hospitals, your staffs, and that work for the Palestinian people.
Now, our correspondent Jody Cohen is joining us live on this broadcast from Tel Aviv with the latest. Jody, thanks so much for joining us. My first question, how was President Biden received by the Palestinians?
Right, so we heard some really strong statements at this press statement today where they really outlined their visions, and President Biden's first statement in West Asia as the President of the United States. We heard President Abbas talk about the need to create an atmosphere for peace, how he believes in the two-state solution, how there's the need, as he says, to end the occupation and the settlement and to have East Jerusalem as the capital of a future Palestinian state. He also talked about the desire of the Palestinians for the US to reopen the consulate in Jerusalem, for the PLO office in Washington to be reopened, and also for the US to scrap legislation calling the Palestinian Liberation Organization a terror organization. And he said that they are not a terror organization. And likewise, we had a statement from President Biden where he talked also about his support for the two-state solution. But he said that rather than focus on that, he indicated that his direction was going to go in the area of tackling daily challenges, things like 3G for the Palestinians and easing travel access, particularly for Jordan. He also talks about the need to end violence on both sides, which I don't think would have gone down very well on the Israeli side, to hear Israeli violence and the army's actions being equated potentially with that of Hamas. He talks about Shireen Abu Akleh and her death in Jenin. Unfortunately, he got her name wrong, which I'm sure won't be well received. And interestingly, there was a place left for her at the press conference. An empty chair was left for her there as making a statement because her family had requested to meet with President Biden, and that hasn't happened. Also very significant, he talked about the need to maintain the status quo in Jerusalem and for it being a city that's significant for everyone. And that's important in terms of what he didn't say. He did not outline Jerusalem as a potential capital of a future Palestinian state. And finally, he talked about the need for the Palestinians to tackle corruption and to improve governance and accountability and transparency in order to pave the way for a future process.
Right, Jody, thank you so much for all those on-ground inputs. Thanks for joining us on WION with the latest. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.